Hi guys, I'm Ryan from Reading with My Eyes, and I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do a best and worst game. Basically, I'm going to do the best book and the worst book from these authors, but I have to have read 5 books from these authors. So the first one up is my favorite, personal favorite, is Robert McCammon. His best book is Boy's Life. My favorite book is The Wolf's Hour, but Boy's Life is the one I recommend the most. I think that's his crowning achievement. His worst book is Ball. That's how I learned to write. I learned to write with Ball, and that's my only 2-star Robert McCammon. Michael Crichton. I loved Michael Crichton for a very long time. His best book is Timeline, and that is on nobody's list but mine. But Timeline is incredible. Time travel, stupidest movie they've ever made of his work. But Timeline, check it out if you haven't. His worst, I would say, is Andromeda Strain. It was probably better at the time, but now it's kind of boring-ish. R.L. Stine, the author that I've read the most books from. His best book is A Night in Terror Tower, and his worst, and I know this is gonna be controversial, but Monster Blood. You love the cover, you didn't love the book. That's controversial, but that's the truth. Dennis Lehane, the king of Boston noir. His best book is Shutter Island. When that came out, I told everybody, you have to read this book because of the ending. The movie's okay, but I still love the book. His worst book is Moonlight Mile. It's the last book in the Kinsey and Gennaro series, and it was written like 12 years after that series ended, and it was kind of more just the greatest hits, but still great writer. That's my only 2-star that I have of his. Michael Connelly, the LA crime writer, amazing stuff. His best book is The Poet. A lot of people haven't read this because it's not attached to his Harry Bosch series, but The Poet, check it out. His worst book for me is The Last Coyote. A lot of people really love that book, but for me, that just didn't gel. He has to go away from LA and go to Florida. It just didn't work for me. J.K. Rowling, very controversial, but I read all of her Harry Potter books and a couple of the Corman Strike books. But I think her best book for me is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. My worst book is The Order of the Phoenix, which is my favorite movie. All the union stuff with the elves, it's just too much, and it takes away from the main story. Okay, Anne Rice, The Queen of Vampires. I think the best book is The Queen of the Damned. They're going to catch up in the series of the Vampire Chronicles right now on TV, and they're going to go to The Queen of the Damned, and I am so ready. Her worst book for me is Talatos. It's the third in her Witches series, and it's okay. My second favorite is The Witching Hour, so I love that book. Nelson Demille. Nelson Demille is a pretty good crime writer. Definitely read most of his John Corey series. I think what his best book is The Lion's Game. It makes the villain sympathetic, and he's a horrible person, but it makes him sympathetic. So really good writing on that. And his worst book, Nightfall. It's the book that's after 9/11, and he was trying to tie 9/11 to it, and it was just too much. It just didn't work. Terry Goodkind. His best book, in my opinion, is The Stone of Tears. That's the second book in the Sword of Truth. That's really good. I just really enjoy that one. His worst book is The Nest. It's his only mystery thriller, but he tried to do it like he does fantasy, and it explains and questions way too much, and it's just a very boring thriller with no thrills. Lemony Snicket, Series of Unfortunate Events. I've read almost all of these books, and I love them. They're great. But I think the best book is The Aristots Elevator. That's where Esme, Count Olaf's girlfriend, is introduced, and I love that character. I think she's great, and the jokes are just really hit very well on that one. And I think the worst book is A Bad Beginning. That's the start of the Lemony Snicket, or the A Series of Unfortunate Events. The ending's just kind of weird with the marriage proposal thing. So yeah, that's I think his worst book, but really good author. Don Winslow, another LA crime one of my favorite like crime writers. His best book is The Cartel, which is the second book in the Power of the Dog series. The Power of the Dog is my second favorite amazing book. His worst book, in my opinion, is The City of Dreams. That's the second book in the City on Fire series, and it goes to LA, and it's just kind of wacky Boston people in LA and Vegas, and it's just wacky. Dean Koontz, the horror writer, I've read about 10 to 12 of his novels. My favorite is Frankenstein, City and Night. That's book 2 in his Frankenstein series. I liked most of the Frankenstein series. At the end, it kind of went crazy with Jocko, if you know. And so his worst, though, for me, is Fear Nothing. I think it had really good writing at the beginning, and then just dropped off so much. And then Koontz had to do his dog point of view that just doesn't change. And yeah, Pierce Brown of the Red Rising series. I've read every book going up to Red God, which is the newest one. I'm probably going to do a read through again of those, coming with that book coming out next year, it seems. But Pierce Brown is one of my favorites. So his best book, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, is Golden Sun. It's just incredible. That is book 2 in the Red Rising series. And his worst book is Iron Gold, book 4 in the Red Rising series. It's just that reset of 10 years later, and I don't know, I didn't enjoy it, but I'm going to read that again with this. Maybe I'll have a higher opinion of it. Josh Malerman. Josh Malerman's new horror. His best book is Incidents Around the House. It is just going to get a movie called Other Mommy with Jessica Chastain. It's coming out in October or November, but it's definitely, it's scary, very creepy. His worst book is Inception. Cool concept, just didn't gel with that. That's a 3-star for me. V.E Schwab. I love V.E Schwab. She's a great fantasy writer. I just went to a book signing not too long ago for her. But my favorite and best novel is Vicious. Superheroes that are kind of dark. Incredible. It is the first in a trilogy, and she's going to finish the trilogy this year. Her worst book is the one that just came out, The Ending Writes Itself, that she wrote with Kat Clark under the pseudonym of Evelyn Clark. It was just a satire mystery. I wanted there to be more mystery, and it was more satire. All right, Taylor Jenkins Reid writes historical fiction with a lot of drama. Her best book is the first one that I read. It is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Without a doubt, that is just my favorite. Her worst book, in my opinion, even though I rated it 5 stars still, is Malibu Rising. It was okay. Light on the drama and characters that I'm kind of used to. Jason Reynolds, an incredible middle grade author. His best work, by far, is Long Way Down. It is Jason Reynolds channeling Charles Dickens, writing a story about gun violence and ghosts visiting him on an elevator going down. It is incredible. If you haven't read it, it is one of my favorite books. His worst book is Miles Morales' Spider-Man. I think it's a good Jason Reynolds novel. It's just a bad Spider-Man novel. Yeah, there's a lot of perspective in it, and if I was a kid, I'd be like, this is boring. Stephen King, his best novel is The Shining. The one that I recommend probably the most is The Stand, but The Shining is definitely, I feel, his best novel. It's scary as hell. Different, way different than the movie. If you've seen the movie, just read the novel and you'll be like, whoa, okay, wow, there's a lot more going on than I thought. His worst is I have a couple novels that I've given a 1-star to, and this is one of the novels that I've given a 1-star to, is The Colorado Kid. It's his first, mystery novel, and it is just, no, I did not want this. I'm going to try to reread this one because I haven't reviewed it since I became a book reviewer. So I do want to try it again. But yeah, The Colorado Kid was not good. Thank you guys. I'm Ryan from Reading With My Eyes. What do you guys think about this list? Do you guys have any ones that you would add? Anyone that I'm way off? Probably Monster Blood. But that's the truth. But I'm Ryan from Reading With My Eyes.